want to understand about the product. The product is called Double Red Rose. We want to understand why the double, why the red, and why the company even decided to use a rose plant as the name. Because we just want to understand really what's happening. How did the company even come about with these kind of ingredients that are doing so much wonders? You know, and people are always asking me so many questions about the product. What is really in the product that is making the product so powerful like that, So tonight we just want to find out. And for me, um, I want to play the devil's advocate tonight. Forgive me, guys, but for lack of a better word, okay, I want to be there as that person because the way the product is solving issues, we just can't understand. Yes, we know God is involved. There's no doubt at all about that. But a product where people with very, very critical conditions, they are doing so well on the product. So tonight we just want to find out from our doctors. We want to find out from our pharmacists, from our health professionals, really, what is in the product that is making the product become such a wonderful product. We call it the most powerful antioxidant. Well, I have dealt with a lot of supplements due to my background, all right, as a health professional, as a biochemist, as a nutritionist, as a public health advocate. I've seen it all. I've seen patients, like thousands and thousands of, hundreds of thousands of patients. We've seen products, some products, they do well, but this particular product that we have tonight, we really, really want to understand the product. The reason why the product is doing so well. And I don't want you to take my word for it. I really don't want you to take my word for it. So tonight, I brought a very special brother of mine. I would say a brother of mine because of the way we are together. We don't even see ourselves as friends any longer. All right. We are brothers, actually. So tonight, I just want us to discuss something with a brother of mine. And even before I introduce this gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, I would like for you to take a pen and a notepad. And if at all possible, make sure that you start writing all your questions because we'll be doing a question and answer segment tonight. All right. So tonight I have Dr. Danladi Tiadima on the call with us. All right. I would wish for us to give him a standing ovation wherever you are at home. Please give him a standing ovation. All right. Because this is one person who has been practicing for well over a decade. Even before Affluence Global, he's a specialist in public health with a master's degree in public health. And he's been He's been a health practitioner for years. For years, he's worked both in remote areas and in the urban areas, ladies and gentlemen. Dan has helped thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of patients to get well. Ladies and gentlemen, healthcare is not easy. Sometimes you look at a patient and all you can say is, God, what happened? And Dan has been there. Dan has a story to tell tonight, guys. He has worked in a very typically remote area, helping people to get well. He has also worked in different urban areas. Dan has traveled extensively in his life. You know the interesting thing? About 4 months ago, I was traveling from Botswana to another country and I had to pass through Kenya. And I decided to spend 2.5 days I think, yeah, I spent about 2.5 days in Kenya, if not 1.5 days. Ladies and gentlemen, lo and behold, I met Dan in Kenya. Very interesting. I'm like, bro, what are you doing here? He said, I came to help people. I came to build affluent. I'm like, wow, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan has traveled to different countries. Sometimes I feel I have traveled. I've traveled like more than half of the earth. But Dan has sometimes lived his life in an aeroplane. He has worked in different hospitals, and the last hospital before Affluence was St. Joe's Specialist Hospital, ladies and gentlemen. Currently, Dr. Dan is he is full-time doing Affluence Global, ladies and gentlemen. And you know the interesting thing, I know most of you don't know Dr. Dan. A lot of people don't know him. Let me tell you one thing about Dan. If we are to take 5 of our top earners, Dan is there. If we are to take just 5 of our top earners in Affluence Global, his name will be mentioned. So if you want to learn how to make money tonight, please send me a box of double red rose. I will send you Dr. Dan's number. I'm telling you, because this is one gentleman that I love so much. And, tonight I just decided, let me bring Dan on so that we can have some question and answer segments with Dan. Dan should tell us what really is in double red rose that is making the products become so powerful like that. All right. So, Dr. Dan, if you're on the call, we need to hear your voice, please, sir. Can you kindly unmute yourself so we can hear your voice? Dr. Dan, can we hear you, please?
Yes, Justice, my blood brother. I'm here live, and wow! Now as you're introducing me, now I'm feeling like Justice want to finish my head.
Dan, you are a celebrity. You are a celebrity. We need to celebrate you.
You already
Dan,
talked
Dan,
about Kenya. Now I start
yes.
missing chapati, and then nyama choma.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not aware, the entire team in Cameroon and part of the team in Kenya is under Dr. Dan. If you are not aware, the entire team in Kenya. If you see any volume moving from Kenya, it is under Dan. All right. And part of Kenya is under him. And I'm even believing that about 90% or 60% of the team in Tanzania is under Dr. Jan. So Ruth is saying Japati is on her. So Dan, good evening and welcome to Affluence. This is Affluence Global, not just one country, not just two countries. You heard the countries I was mentioning. All right. So Dan, um, without much I say, let's just move straight. Let's just move straight into tonight's training segment. Dan, before we begin anything, um, let me just let you know that we have some doctors on the call, we have some nurses on the call, we have some professors and very powerful people. We have some people who have also made a lot of money, some people that you have impacted, but you are not even aware that you have impacted. So just be aware the kind of people and the type of people we are going to discuss this with tonight. So Dan, the first thing I want to find out from you, please just tell us anything you want to tell us about what is double red rose, because we don't understand why the product is doing so much wonders. Just tell us in your own free words. Just tell us what really is this product. What is double red rose? What at all is this? Is it?
All right. Thank you so much, Justice. And all of our cherished listeners and affluencers, welcome to this session. I want to appreciate everyone who took time to be part of this meeting. In fact, in this business, our main business is the product. And so once anything about product is being said, I like to be there. So I don't miss any product session. Once I see it, even on social media, somebody's going to talk about product, I go to attend the meeting because the product is what is helping people. And in helping the people is how the business move around. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules. I see our leaders from UK. I know right now, my mama Sarah is on the way to work, but she's on the call, and all the other people from all the other places. Ruth, the chapati, I'll still come for it. I don't forget promises. So I want to thank you all for being part of the call. Now, Justice, Double Red Rose is doing so well indeed globally. Sometimes the testimonies we hear is just mind-blowing, but it's joyful to be part of something this big that is impacting lives, that is changing lives. And one thing I can say about Double Red Rose majorly for all of us is whoever you give it to is going to pray for you. Apart from the money you earn, the fool is going to pray for you because it will help solve their problems. Double red rose, when you ask what is double red rose, double red is a bit unique because all the things we've seen several supplements like Justice said. If you've practiced small, even if you are not a practitioner, you don't even do anything health. You still have seen product marketed to you, or you just go to the pharmacy to buy to fill a prescription. You would have seen several products on shelves. In fact, in most pharmacies now, you will see supplements more than you will see uh, maybe antibiotics and other aspects. So we have more supplements. So double red rose is classified under a group of uh, products. We call them nutraceuticals. Nutraceuticals are nutrients that are also acting as pharmaceutical agents. That's just a simple word for the word nutraceutical. So they are nutrients or they are food based, and they also have uh, medicinal or health specific health impact. Double red rose is classified under this group. And the name double red rose is not accidental. You know, Affluence Global, we do everything carefully. The double red rose, we are taking it from two angles. The rose flower, it's a very unique flower that has symbolized love all these years from the what they call, they say medieval times, from everyone who knows who has married, the married men in the house. You gave some flowers out, some rose flowers out before. So it symbolizes love, right? Then the double part of it is rose flower itself also has several health properties inside it. And I am pleased to announce to you it's only the double red rose Celgen 12 of Affluence Global that has an extract of of the rose flower as an ingestible health product. The rose flower has several benefits in health. Some people have extracts of it in topical applications or cosmetics, but not ingestible. So our unique part of the name is from the red rose flower. One symbolizing love, and then the second part symbolizing the health benefits of the rose flower. And we've been the first to make it an ingestible version. So we call our product the double red rose. So first for love, because love is significant, and then second for we love the people, we love our company, we love our athletes, we love our clients. And the second part is so we are adding the scientific part of it also to make the love complete. We want them to be healed, we want them to be strong. And it will surprise you, the rose flower is dense in antioxidants. In fact, apart from that aspect, it's also very good for our heart health. So the name double red rose is from the rose flower, and that is the name we have given our product. So unique and so sweet. Justice now, you say, why is the double red rose doing so well? Yes, if you look at the double red rose, for example, someone is struggling with high blood pressure, you give them double red rose, then they come and say, now that my pressure is a bit stable. Someone is struggling with high blood sugar, you give them double red rose, then they come and say, oh, as I've taken it for this time, now my sugar is a bit stable. Now, someone who is struggling with something very unrelated, all right, maybe dysmenorrhea. So they are having pains during their menstrual cycle. They take the double red rose and they say, I have this month, it came as if it didn't start. All right. Then yeah, someone has been down with stroke for some time. Now they are taking the double red rose. They tell you I can feel my sensitivity. I can see some changes. In fact, one of the things I enjoyed when I was in Kenya, I was at one of the largest settings, church settings in Kenya, and I met with a bishop, and he says, when I got the double red rose, what got me involved is my servant. He had suffered a facial burns, and so part of his face, the nerve was the nerve sensation wasn't much there. It's a bit disfigured, maybe how it was handled. And he says when he started taking the double red rose for the first week, the second week, the guy said, Bishop, I can feel my jaws. And it made the man so attached to the product, so emotional that he says, this guy, I have loved him, I've done everything. I said, I have money. There's nothing I won't pay to
Have
get.
a
But
lovely
when
day, Doctor. God bless you.
I can feel my jaws, he said, I almost drop a tear. And why? All these unrelated things, the double red rose is able to solve them, or is able to aid people to feel them, because the founders of Affluence Global looked at what can we do to help our communities heal. We're having several burdens. So double red rose has 13 different active ingredients, 13 of them. The last time I checked, the next product that has high number of ingredients in it is a Canadian product. I won't mention the name, but it has 7. That's the next highest. But double red rose has 13 different active ingredients. Why? 13 different active ingredients means it's able to cover every system in our body. Every system, whether it's the genitourinary system, whether it's the nervous system, whether it's the musculoskeletal system, it's able to cover every aspect of it. And that is why people take it for unrelated conditions, and they are able to bring results. They are able to come with testimonies. And some of the testimonies, as you are aware already, are just wonderful. So wonderful that you feel this one is the hand of God. And God worked through men. The wisdom of God worked through men. And so he used double red rose as one of those with careful selection. In fact, for those who are familiar with double red rose, the very first box, we changed some few things. We added NAC, and then we added Roselle, and we removed one other ingredient, because the blend of combinations, if the synergy is not, there's something we call synergistic effect in pharmacology. You want 1 + 1, usually this is 2, but when there's a synergy, 1 + 1 can actually be more than 5. And that is what we are seeing in double red rose. The combinations work so well, and it's able to help every system in your body to perform optimally. All right. I think if that's fine.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Dan. I like the way you have carefully elaborated it. And one thing I took from it is the fact that you mentioned nutraceutical, because I personally went into nutraceuticals. So for most people, we are people who use food to cure diseases. That is actually the last program I studied. So we are that kind of doctors, like Dan was saying. When you come to us that you are sick, we don't give you drug, like a hardcore drug. We give you what we call nutraceutical, a food that cures disease. And that is exactly what you've mentioned, which the double red rose provides. So for me, that is the take home for tonight. Dr. Dan, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now let's move on. I want to find out. Um, Dr. Dan, I'm having a lot of people come to me. Dr. Justice, can a 2-year-old use, who can use double red rose? Can children use it? And at what age, if at all a child can use double red rose, at what age would you recommend? And tell us the reason why.
All right. So, who can use double red rose? Um, Double red rose, like I mentioned, is for everyone. It's food that has medicinal components inside. So, and food, all of us, our fuel is food, right? Everybody, your fuel is food. So, food is for everyone. Now, because we've added the medicinal aspect to it, there are certain things that we will restrict. For example, if you look at our product, we say you can give it to pregnant women. It's not that it's harmful to pregnant women. It is that we've not tested it on them. There's something we call in the process of producing a product or any uh, pharmaceutical related product. There are some tests it must go through. Number one is to exclude toxicity. Is it toxic to the body? Will it be poisonous? Once that part is taken care of, now which particular systems will be affected as is solving other aspects of problems. For example, you can have a product that is solving a neural problem, but then it's causing gastric corrosion. All right. So in practice, there are some medicines when we are giving you, we give you other medicines, not because those medicines are going to cure a problem, but those medicines are going to cause it reduce the undesired effect of that medicine we are giving you. So, for example, if we are giving you a medicine that can cause gastric corrosion, we will give you something else. Usually, we call them proton pump inhibitors. We'll give you something else to guide or to help the gastric lining not to be corroded as you are taking this other medicine. Now, in double red rose, that is what we look at. If we cannot test it on some people, we can't give it to them. So, pregnant women, if you take almost all medicines, will say don't give it to pregnant women because they are not. You can't use them for many studies because you can't tell who is your active participant. Active participant is the one you are using as the the one you are using to measure the parameters you are looking for. So in pregnancy, are you going to use a baby or the fetus or the expectant mother? So we've not just tested it on pregnant women, so we say don't give it. It's not that it's harmful to them, it's just that we've not tested it on them. Now also we say people who are lactating, is the same reason. Lactating, those who are breastfeeding children, because it can be felt or you can separate it in the breast milk. So we don't want that effect also on the child. But in these conditions also, there's what we call exceptions. For example, oh, sorry, I think I muted. Sorry. So, for example, if a pregnant woman is struggling with a very difficult condition like preeclampsia, that is high blood pressure during pregnancy, it's something that is very dangerous for both the mother and the fetus. In cases like that, yes, we can give them. Or if they have what we call gestational diabetes, so they are not diabetic, but as they are pregnant now, the diabetes, the sugar is uncontrollable. Cases like that, we want to give them. And then if the mother, lactating mother, is severely ill, we also like them to use the product because now you have to save the mother to be able to save the baby. But apart from this category, also children are so wonderful that their cells are replicating so fast because they are growing. So they don't need many things as influencers to be able to do well. So we don't give it to children also. But a child with a special challenge, all right, we call them children with special needs or children with delayed milestones. So a child is 4 years and they have not been able to walk. We encourage you to give them because that means there's something lacking, something is delaying, or they are not catching up with something. So we want them to catch up. All right. So children with special needs. Apart from that, we encourage not to give not to give to children below 5 years. So children 6 years and above, yes, but below that, we encourage you to not to give them unless they have special needs. Yes. I think that's it. That justice.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for that clarity because we keep getting these questions day in and day out about kids using the double red rose. And I'm glad you've clarified that children from the age of 5 years and above, we encourage you to use them 5, 6 years and above, unless the child has a special case. And I'm very happy you've mentioned that because children naturally they are born with so much energy, you know. Anyway, Dr. Dan, tell us, um, if someone has a case, let's say diabetes, let's say cancer, the question I normally get, how many sachets can the person use? And people always come to my DMs. Doctor, please, I have a patient with gastrointestinal whatever, someone with gut issues, someone with fibroids. I have a patient who has gastritis, someone with cancer, third stage cancer. I have someone with diabetes. How many sachets can the person use? And sometimes when these questions come, it makes us feel like, the people want us to they want us to make medical claims, and we cannot do that. So Dr. Dan, can you clarify that if someone has a case, how many sachets can the person use? Do we even have to prescribe it as, 2 morning, 2 afternoon, 2 evening, like we normally do? Can you explain that to us, and can you help us, please? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Justice. So that's a very frequent, in fact, they call them FAQs, eh? That's a very frequent question actually on even most of the platforms I am in also. And people come to my DM as well with that question. Now, like we mentioned, we said the double red is a nutraceutical. Now, in therapy or in care, we have different categories of agents we use. For example, there are certain things you cannot claim on other agents. Nutraceuticals are not definitive therapy, so you cannot use them to say, okay, if somebody comes to you and say, I have diabetes, my sugar level is high. You give them your double red rose and say, okay, I prescribe that one for you. That would be wrong. The double red rose cannot work that diabetes out in that situation because it will take a longer time. Nutraceuticals are like in computer we say defaults. They are trying to bring your body to default, but that will take some time. So we don't promote them as medicines like I'll promote metformin. Now, let me take a case out and just give an example. So if someone says my sugar levels are up, so they are diabetic. In diabetes therapy, there are majorly two categories of medicines we give. There's one we call them sulfonylureas, and then the other one we call them bigonides. The sulfonylureas, they are channeled to stimulate the fellow's pancreas to produce insulin. So they work with a particular receptor in the pancreas. It's the beta cells of the pancreas they work with to stimulate it to produce enough insulin because insulin is needed to be able to control sugar levels. Then the bigonides, the popular of all the bigonides is metformin. The bigonides, they don't work that way. The bigonides work separately. They rather work on the liver. So bigonides are supposed to prevent your liver from storing the sugar. So bigonides work on the liver to limit even the absorption of sugar in your body. That is their function. So these two work separately. So we combine them to give anyone who has diabetes a therapy. It's when these two are not working, because one is aiding your body to produce insulin, one is causing the liver, which is I'll classify it as your engine. Your body engine is your liver. It's not your heart. Your heart is like your fuel pump. Your body engine is the liver, because the liver works more than all other organs in your body comparatively in keeping your body healthy. Now, sulfonylureas work on the pancreas, which is a gland. The bigonides work on the liver separately to achieve the common goal of your sugar being controlled. Double red rose doesn't work that way. Double red rose main aim is to help your body, all right, to help in this case, to help your pancreas, not to stimulate it, but to help it to grow the cells that are either dormant, all right? Mostly inflammatory conditions cause these changes. Our double red dose has anti-inflammatory properties, but it's working not only on the pancreas, but every other system in your body to give you a desired default setting. Your body must be at its what you call homeostasis, back to the normal you. So if we say take the double red dose and stop your oral hypoglycemics, this fellow is going to have a challenge. The sugar is going to go so high and they might be admitted, or they might actually go to what a complication we call diabetic ketoacidosis. And it's same with all the other conditions. All right. For example, let's take another condition like hypertension. Actually, we have about 8 different groups of medicines we use to treat hypertension in the hospital. We have calcium channel blockers. They work directly on your heart. All right. They like you hear them block. Anything you hear block is English word. They block calcium ions. They block the heart from taking up more calcium ions so that it will reduce contractility, so that it can rest. We have diuretics. They work on your kidneys. They work on the nephron of your kidney and the glomerulus to allow more salt to pass out. So we also call them water pills. There are about 4 different categories of even just the diuretics. All right. We have the thiazides, we have the loop diuretics, and all of those ones. They work separately on the kidney. Then we have what we call ACE inhibitors. We call them, they inhibit an enzyme, angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. They prevent some particular enzyme from being active, such that it can give your blood vessels the opportunity to relax. So these are working differently to achieve one common goal: lower your blood pressure. Now, if you go and take the double red dose and then you tell someone to stop all of this, it is going to cause problem. So we encourage you, give it as a supplement. It's food. Food is the default of everyone. It's the fuel for all of us. It's food, but with medicinal agents. So let them take their normal medicines and take the double red dose alongside. So by this explanation, you can see that if we take any other condition, for example, you mentioned about gastritis. Gastritis, it's an inflammation of your stomach wall. It's a corrosive condition. All right. If you eat some bad food, it can happen. If you are infected with certain kind of bacteria like H. pylori, it can happen. All right. So if it's, for example, the bacteria source, we just need to give something that will kill the bacteria. Once the source is dead, you are going to have a better stomach wall formation. Your body will recover it. All right. But somebody with gastritis, the double red dose will help you. But it's not a definitive it's not a prescription for that particular condition. There are other ones we can give to aid you also, like I mentioned about these proton pump inhibitors. Yes, they help they help regulate how much of HCl comes into your gastric cavity. All right. So it's the double red dose acts as a supplement that is really very good for us, but it does not replace the well tailored medicines for these conditions. Even if you take antibiotics, for example, antibiotics, we have several categories of them. Apart from the generations, we have up to 4th generation now, but we even have different categories. We have what we call broad spectrum antibiotics, for example. All right. Broad spectrum, their name implies they cover a lot of things, almost all bacteria. But we have gram-negative antibiotics. That is, they are tailored to certain particular organisms. Even antibiotics, that is just simple one. Then you look at, we have some antibiotics that are tailored to flagellates. They are specific for that particular pathogen. And this is how we give care to you. So don't go and let somebody replace their medicines with double red dose because you know it will help them a lot. Yes, let them take them alongside so we see the result, the desired results we want to see. Usually that one works with your physician because he's seeing you every day. And once there's a change, every physician's joy is to see the one I'm caring for has experienced a change. I think we got the testimony from UK not long ago. A lady whose mother went to the clinic for normal routine. She's hypertensive, and called the daughter from the clinic and said, "Today something happened in UK." And he says, "What is?" He said, "I went. They checked my blood pressure more than 4 times. They asked me to sit down. They came back and check it, and then they had to go and call the doctor inside, the specialist, to come and check it. And after all, they asked me, 'What have you been taking?' And I said, 'Like what?' They said, 'Your blood pressure has never come down to this level. So we are assuming something has changed somewhere.' They are so happy to tell her they can win her off her antihypertensive. So they actually took one off. And the lady came out and called the daughter, and the daughter couldn't wait for our next video Zoom call to come and share the testimony. This is what we want to hear. But if the daughter had said, 'Stop, because we are giving you double red,' we might not achieve these results. So please, as we are happy to give the product to help so many people, let's do it with this caution that it is not a replacement for their regular medications, especially for people who are on non-communicable disease therapies. Please. For example, you mentioned cancer. I want to tell you something about cancer, especially. Cancer, our double red rose is very dense in antioxidants. Most cancer agents, the purpose is to oxidize the cells to die. So what we suggest with cancer is, if somebody is going through cancer therapy, usually the day you are going for the therapy, it's advisable that morning you don't take your double red rose. And if possible, you take it the next morning. So that whole day, don't take it, because the idea is to oxidize the cancer cells to die. So the purpose is to increase oxidation for those cells to die. Now, when we give you, if you take the double red rose, in some way, it has enough antioxidants, so it's going to counter in some part the medicine you just went for, the cancer agent you just went for. So we want to let people know these ones, they are quite but the joy is, anyone who is undergoing any cancer therapy and you give them a double red rose, it's a blessing to them, because once they start, they will tell you first the fatigue is already gone. They begin to regain their skin tegel. All right. All these other challenges they are going through, that persistent nausea, they don't feel it anymore. But we want to guide you to take it correctly so that we will maximize what you are paying for in the hospital and what you are paying for with Affluence Global, so that we come to a common goal of letting you get free from that disease, that challenge. Thank you very much. Justice, I hope I've not spoken too long and they forgot, and we are forgetting most of it. Thank you.
No, my brother, I just love the way you are clarifying everything in detail. Another thing that you made mention of was the fact that I mean, you made mention of homeostasis, and a lot of people don't understand. I think for me, that is the major factor over here. The major factor is the fact that the product brings the body, it brings the body home. You see, homeostasis is the maintenance of a constant internal environment despite external environmental changes within the body of an organism. And so if the product can bring the body to homeostasis, then we've won. We've won every disease, we've won every case. That is holistic medicine. And you also mentioned nutraceuticals. So in detail, I mean, the long and short of it is, it's food that is going to cure everything, period. So then I'm just so excited about the fact that the way you have explained it, it's so nice. It's like a beautiful symphony. Now, I would want to open the floor for questions and answers, but before then I want to find out just maybe one or two questions. um, there are so many supplements in town. Then a lot of people come to me, but doctor, I can buy this supplement in town for maybe $2, maybe 10 rands, maybe 5 rands, maybe 15 rands, or maybe 10 pula, or maybe 20 Ghana cedis. or maybe 15 Kenyan shillings. But now they tell me this double red rose, why would I have to buy double red rose when I can find other supplements on the shelf? Then tell us, what really is the difference between double red rose and the other supplements that we see in pharmaceutical shops? Just briefly, because we need to let our people know that our double red rose is superior.
Yeah, and that's the correct word actually, superior. Yeah, so there are several supplements, and for the record, almost all supplements are very good. They are well researched because before any company can bring a product out, the R&D does lot of work, They do lot of work. It's tested on several things. Even if it's working this way, will it counter other physiologic processes in the body? Will it inhibit some challenge? Will it inhibit some receptor function? All that is done to detail. So every supplement, most of them are very good, very, very good. Now, the difference is this. Just like I mentioned antibiotics, and I'm going to give you something that will let you laugh. Uh, ciprofloxacin. It's a quinolone. It's a broad spectrum antibiotic. We call them quinolones. That's their group. All right. It's very good. If you have ever suffered, for those of us who are in typhoid endemic areas, you would have taken Cipro many times. All right. Now, those ones, if you go to the pharmacy shop, and the pharmacist here can testify to you, there are some shops you can buy Cipro. The same shop, you get the same pharmacy. There's a Cipro you can buy for, let's use dollar terms since we are my diverse group here. You can buy for, let's say, in my country, under $1, less than $1 actually. And this in that same shop, they will tell you there's another ciprofloxacin there that can cost you $20 in the same shop, and they show the two to you. Why? What's the difference? Because majorly, all of these ones is just those who love chemistry. You can tell it's just the chemical composition or the chemistry that is used to form them is the same formula. There's no difference. That is why they are classified into that particular name or that particular group. It's the same formula. The difference is authenticity. Authenticity. Can we depend on that particular company that produce the $100 one compared to this other one that has a name that they don't want to tarnish? Is quality. So for us, the difference is we are not just looking at the authenticity, but even just look at it, for example, double red rose has 13 different active ingredients. And I can tell you, you can search it. In this era, we are very free to find information. In fact, information that is very accurate with many sources on AI. Just go to whether even Meta AI, Grok, Perplexity, any of the AIs, you have just type supplements and the composition, and you can find it easily. The next available supplement I found that has high ingredients put together is about 7 ingredients put together. 7. Double red rose has 13, including NAC. NAC alone, those who like to read about NAC, you can just look up NAC. NAC alone is so important for our body's physiologic function in several forms, both for antioxidant property, as a catalyst, as an instigator for production of our own body antioxidant glutathione, but even beyond that. Do you know, Justice, glutamate? Do you know that NAC help your body to regulate glutamate? Glutamate is our body's most significant neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter is the nerve carry information, all right? The one that instigates your nerve to carry information. But NAC helps regulate that. So by doing so, it actually helps our brain function very well. It's just massive. We even have NAC inside. I think when I went to Kenya,
Dr. Dan, wait, you want to tell us that those of us drinking double red rose, our brain is going to function more than computers,
I'm
more than
telling
Google?
you, it's going to be massive,
Please,
massive.
then I'm
Now,
going to
now
take 2 sachets tonight before I sleep.
you ask, Brony is here. Last week, a lady gave a testimony on our Zoom. She said, I started giving the double red rose to my children, and guess what? They all got first in their class for the first time. The lady is from Botswana. Bronya, was it from Botswana
Wow.
or from South Africa? Yeah, he said, my daughter got first, and then my other daughter got first in their class for the first time. They all topped their class with margin.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And she came to give us a testimony. We just celebrated with her. Now, that is how important it is. The content of our double red rose for now is a bit unique. I mentioned something. Those of us who love to find information, just look for the honey locust, and you see that it's quite rare. Now, I mentioned something earlier when I was introducing the double red rose that it's only as of today, it's only the double red rose of Affluence Global that actually has an extract of the rose flower as an ingestible. It means edible. No other product has it in the world as of today. Others will copy, which is fine. We want people to copy more so that the world can be a bit better in health because we are all struggling. Yesterday, I was at a graduation for specialists at Pentecost Convention Center, and the keynote speaker's main cry was non-communicable disease burden has overwhelmed every country, including our country. And so we want anything that can help bring this burden down. We are all for it as health personnel or public health advocates. So we want people to copy, but for now, we are the only one that has that component in the world. That's a very unique something. Just stand alone. That's a very unique way to let you know that the double red rose is not just another product in the shelf. It actually has a superior outcome compared to others that are available. And I'll not talk about double red rose again without mentioning cost. And at a very, very reduced cost. I met a pharmacist in Kenya, and they used to produce their own brand. And he said, you mean you have NAC in the product? And the price is this cheap? Because in Kenya, it's about 5,800 shillings as retail. And the guy was surprised. He said, that is really serious because I know how much we, even NAC alone, it cost us. And that was the point that drove the guy to want to be part of Affluence Global Match. We are giving this unique, very, very excellent, efficient product at a very reduced or discounted price to the world. That is what I will say.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Dan. Thank you so much. You know, it's always good to have a professional to speak about a particular subject. And I like the way you have dissected it. You mentioned about NAC. We'll come to NAC because I want to ask you critical questions about the NAC and glutathione and all that because glutathione is the mother of all antioxidants. And Dan, I don't know if you're aware, over here in Southern Africa, people are going to clinics and hospitals and they are going to inject themselves with with glutathione. So we'll talk about that. But before then, tell me, one of the questions people always come to me with, and sometimes I really it's as if you shouldn't get tired of answering people, you know. The question is, how long should I use double red rose? How long should I use it? Am I going to use double red rose every day of my life, or at some point in time I have to stop it? Well, me, I tell them that as long as I eat, as long as I breathe the atmospheric oxygen, as long as I drink water that has been purified with a halogen, which is chlorine, I have no choice. As long as the sunlight shines on my skin, which can give me cancer due to the type of rays it produces after 12 p.m. going, I have no choice. But tell us, Dan, are we going to use double red rose forever? Or what will be your best advice? Because I also know, based on professional and education, based on my profession and education, supplements stay in your system for 12 hours, 6 to 6. That means every day you need it. Every day you need it. You have no choice. Tell us, Dan, Should we use it every day, or at some point in time we may have to pause?
All right. So that's a very significant question, actually. And it's one of the, in our FAQs, this will be number 2, I think. Because people want to know, number one, because of financial or economic reasons. Number 2, also, there's this other school of thought that whatever you are putting in your body will have some accumulative effect. So they just want to be careful not to be in the fear of not getting ill. They don't want to get they don't want to rather incur injury, which is very important. Now, for us, double red dose, like you said, is food. We are exposed to free radicals every day. All right, we are exposed to dangers daily. So you need to curb these dangers. And that is why, I use double red dose daily, and I'm going to use it for a very long time. All right. But for those, for example, if you are taking double red dose for a challenge, say you have a particular condition you want to, you are taking to support yourself to get out of. All right. We recommend a minimum use of at least 3 months. Minimum. If you don't even use for long at all, use for 3 months. That is significant. That period is enough for many changes to happen. I said we want to set your body to the default you. At least, if even you did not reach the default you, you would have been very close to the mark of your original self, the default you. All right. So minimum 3 months, and then we recommend for any condition you are taking it for. For example, I'm taking it to help regulate my sugar levels. I'm taking it to help regulate my blood pressure. We recommend you take it for at least 3 to 6 months. At least 3 to 6 months. That's also very significant. That will give you the outcome you desire and the outcome we also desire for you. Yeah. But if you can afford, if economic challenges are not that on your doorsteps, which we are guiding you through Affluence Global Proving System also, so that you don't have economic pressures, you should be able to use it extensively. You should be able to use it for a long time. In fact, since at the first double red rose entered my house, there's no day I've not taken some till now. Yeah. Justice, I think that's fine.
Thank you. Yes, yes, Dan, you've done justice to my question. Dan, before I open the floor for questions and answers, I've seen people are even chatting, sending their questions and their troubles already. Dan, tell us, talk to us about NAC, N-acetylcysteine. I studied NAC as a biochemist. I studied NAC so well. We've seen it. We know how it works. But our people here, just break it down for us. What is NAC? N-acetylcysteine, because people are also confused that it's a drug, which I always tell them is not a drug. Well, NAC can be made in a form of a drug, but we got it from legumes, sunflower seeds, onion seeds, because we organically sourced them. All right. I know it's also, I think according to World Health Organization, it's been approved to be used to treat poison. And let me say this, and I didn't want to say this, but 2 weeks ago, I was traveling, from different countries to different countries, and I had a stomach upset because I ate something I wasn't supposed to eat. I ate a food that was rotten. So that was um, we call it botulism, food poison. And I was really, at that time, all I could do was say my last prayers, you know. And then I was looking for water to drink. I don't know why I had to open my backpack. And lo and behold, I saw just one single sachet of double red rose in my backpack. Then I took it and that was it. This is me sitting here. You know, the way my stomach was turning and turning, that was last week. It almost about 2.5 days. It was just between me and God. And something struck me. I was looking for water. I was just lying on the floor, moving. I haven't told anybody this. I think I've told just about two people, those who were very close to me at that time that we were in close communication. Just one sachet. And this is my testimony. I think I should take my time and share this testimony. Just one sachet of double red rose, food poison gone. Guys, so for me, I see the knack that World Health Organization has actually made it an antidote for poison, and most people are not even aware. Tell us the knack itself as a type of protein. What is knack, and what does it really do for the body? Just in simple,
All
plain
right.
terms.
All right. So NAC is an amino acid. All right. Now, we say it's conditionally an essential amino acid. We say conditionally because actually we get NAC from several food sources. So as you are eating, you get, like Dr. Justice mentioned, you get it from several food sources. NAC is so important actually than I can emphasize. The NAC acts in many ways to help our body. In fact, majorly, I can talk about, let me talk about just three. Number one, NAC acts as an instigator for your body to produce its own antioxidants. Now, if someone is in the call who has not been in Affluence Global for some time, you still would have heard about antioxidants. If you did not hear about it, antioxidants are compounds that help your body to remove free radicals from your body. Free radicals are equally compounds in your body or elements that are choking your cell environment because they bind to your cell wall, they bind to your cell environment, they choke such that your cells become ineffective. In some cases, they can actually cause injury to the cell, even they can cause cell death. And if you have an injured cell, then you have an injured organ. All right. Because if you have cells that are injured of your liver, if a significant amount of your cells there are injured, you're going to have a liver problem. If significant amount, quantity of your cells in your kidney are injured, you're going to have a kidney problem. That is why cellular injury, anything that is a potential danger or a danger to your cells, is a danger to your life. These free radicals we're talking about, we get them from every source, from our food environment, from our work environment, from our home environment. In fact, there are some cities that, as of today, they are classified as highly pollutant cities based on their air pollution content. Such that if you live in that city for a day, you are compared to someone who has smoked a whole pack of cigarettes for the day. You can search for them on your internet. I don't want to discredit. I don't want to mention any city name to make you to change your vacation plans. All right, you go for the vacation. We are giving you NAC to remove those ones, so you will not die in that city. But that's so NAC help our body to produce what we call glutathione. In fact, not there are companies that promote only glutathione as their major products. And some of us know those companies, and it's a good thing because glutathione, like the justice mentioned, other people actually go to clinics to be injected with it because it's the most potent self-produced antioxidant in our body. Your body produces it, but we can also produce it from other sources. All right. And it's because it's that significant in reducing or removing these free radicals. That's why people go to inject it. I will suggest to you, if you are intending to do so, no, don't do that. Rather, there are several other things that can help your body produce significant amount of it. Just take our double red rose, and you are going to have a much wider coverage, more reduced cost, and then health efficient life. All right, that's one aspect of NAC. NAC acts as an instigator for your body to produce its own glutathione. So, and glutathione is the most potent antioxidant your body produces. Second, I mentioned about glutamate earlier. All right, we are talking about your brain health, neurotransmitters. NAC is one of the potent compounds that help our body to actually amino acids that help our body to regulate the glutamate levels. And this is so significant. If you get to know, if you have glutamate challenges, you're going to have several other challenges in your body. You're going to have neurotransmission issues. You're going to have cognitive challenges. And so this is one of the most important aspects. And among all, one also very important one is NAC actually help our liver. All right. And you heard that right. Our liver to detoxify our body. So it acts as a support for your liver to do detoxification. Now, detoxification, as we all know, if your body is, I mentioned that our liver is the engine, not the heart. If we are comparing your body to a car, for example, which we are more familiar with, the car has the engine, all right? And then the car has we have the fuel and the fuel pump and all the oil pump and all of that. Consider your liver as the engine. It doesn't mean if if the engine is faulty, you're going to have challenges. Your engine can be faulty and you are still moving around. That is why your liver can be faulty and you are still moving around. But if your heart is like your fuel pump, if your heart doesn't work, if the fuel pump stops now, wherever you reach and it stops, right there your car will stop. That is why the heart is so like urgent. We know more conditions pertaining to the heart are more pronounced or quickly seen than the liver challenges, because if your oil is dirty, your car will still be working. If certain parts of your engine are even having problems, you are going to be feeling the challenges as you drive, but you will still be managing around. Your liver works like that. It's NAC acts as a very great support for your liver to now could cause detoxification, to detoxify your body. And once your body is once we remove these chemical congestions in your body, you're going to have a better health outcome. So I'll just mention these three and let us read about the other ones. All right. Yeah. So, but before I close on that, NAC in our products, apart from all these three I've mentioned, also acts as a catalyst. All right. So it makes the product work a bit faster for you to see results. So we promote it as a catalyst in our double red rose as well. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Dan. I think I wanted to ask a follow-up question, but you've already answered the question, which was about the glutathione. Because over here, Dan, a lot of people are trooping into hospitals for glutathione injection because they believe it helps the skin, it makes the skin beautiful.
Justice, I think you've mistakenly pressed on your.
Oh yes. Oh my God.
Yes.
Forgive me. So Dan, thank you so much. What I was saying was, you've clarified a lot of things. Over here, people are trooping into hospitals and clinics so much to the point where they are just coming for glutathione injection. And it's becoming a huge thing over here because we believe that glutathione makes the skin beautiful. It takes away lots and lots of scars on the skin. It lightens your skin and all that. But if we have NAC in our products, double red rose, and it boosts the body's original glutathione content, then why should I go and pay 2,000 rands, 2,500, which is like equivalent to 150 US dollars? People do it once every single month, $150 every single month, you know, just so that the skin can become beautiful. And ladies and gentlemen, we have NAC in our double red rose, which can boost the body's natural glutathione content. So, I mean, and this is organically sourced. So, please bring the money. Let's give you double red rose. Anyway, Dan, I don't want to be the person asking all the questions. I'm going to read some of the questions so that you can attend to them. I'm saying some of them because I see some of the questions you've already answered them. Okay. So let me see. This one says, someone is saying she is 39, that's 39 years old, and no more menstruating. And it's saying, I still need a baby. That means the person wants to get pregnant. Can double red rose help in that situation? Now, before I allow Dan to answer this question, this is what I want to tell every single one of us. Dr. Dan has brought clarity to the product. Okay. Number two, he has also made us aware and understand that the product is not a drug, it's not a chemical. So some of these questions is as if you are making us like you want us to make medical claims. Okay. And I'm very sure if you had listened to Dr. Dan right from the beginning, he has clarified all these things. But nonetheless, Dan, I would wish that you attend to this one. He says the person is 39, the person is no more menstruating, and the person still wants to get pregnant. How do we conquer this situation with double red rose, Dr. Dan?
All right. So first, I will encourage her that now you can still have a baby. It's not far, but she indicated she's not menstruating any longer. So it's best you see a gynecologist. That's the first I will say. It's important. Now, you can use double red rose. Our double red rose also acts as a hormonal regulator. All right, 39, you can still menstruate. So something must be causing the amenorrhea. All right. So it unless it's early menopause, which so I will suggest you can take the double red rose. It supports hormonal regulation. So if it's a hormonal related challenge, it might help resolve it. But the best one is, and when it comes to fertility, sometimes just something small can even let you have something small as in a block tube. All right. And for example, there's a very small, simple procedure we call hydrotubation. It's the gynecologist will just let you lie down. They're going to use water, just normal water, and then they're going to just let it go with a little pressure to be able to open up that block tube so that you can have these things. And so it's really you will need to see a gynecologist, but you can take the double red rose. We have seen testimonies of people who have taken it and they say, "Oh, I was having this desire to have children. It took me a while, but as I started taking the double red rose, I've seen now my desire is met." It's true. One, because remember, the purpose of the double red dose is to bring your body back to its default settings. All right. So it's bringing your body back to its original state. And the original state of the body, there are certain things, physiologic functions that are normal to flow. And then also, it also help as a hormonal regulator. So if the challenge is hormonal related, it can resolve that also. And just to add a free one, our double red rose works so well with smooth muscles. The uterus is smooth muscle. And so all those fibroid and things with testimonies we've seen around is possible because the double red dose acts as a smooth muscle relaxant. So it's also able to help the uterus, which is smooth muscle, to exhibit certain changes. Yeah. So you can use it, but see your gynecologist. Is the most definitive one. Let's know what is the cause first, and then we can offer the solution to it. Thank you. And when you get the baby, please come back and let us celebrate with you.
Very well. Thank you. Thank you. So I think we already have a testimony from someone in Malawi. I think the person got pregnant 5 years. They were struggling to have a child. They used double red rose. Within 3 weeks, they tested positive for pregnancy. So and for childbirth, I think we have a lot of testimonies. We just thank God for that. Dr. Dan, there's this question. I didn't want to read it, but it keeps coming. Um, and I would say something small before you come in to clarify it. Someone is saying, You spoke about cancer. What about someone who has had a failed cancer therapy? Please, how can double red rose help the person to recover without the cancer therapy? Now, let me say this before Dr. Dan speaks, okay? When you are going through chemotherapy, please, this goes to every single one of us. This is very, very important and necessary. The let me put it this way, the drugs we use for chemotherapy, okay, you are not supposed to use double red rose the day you are going for your cancer, for your chemotherapy. This is very, very important. At least give a day or two, give a space of a day or two. Don't use even any other product. After your chemotherapy, give another day or two before you come back to the double red rose. This is very, very important. I need every single one of us to be very careful about it. It's because the type of drugs we use for chemotherapy, once you take other medication, there's something we call um, uh, um, drug interaction. We don't want that to happen to anyone. So that's just what I can say. Dr. Dan, do you want to say anything about it, please, or we should move on to the next question? Thank you.
Yeah. I'll just add something small to what you have said. Actually, most of in fact, all the chemotherapy agents we use, the purpose is to increase oxidation in that space for the cancer cells to die. Now, you have heard this saying that you cannot, once there's a cancer cell you want to kill, you kill some good cells too. It's true. All of them are called cells. That means if we are oxidized, if we are increasing the oxidation here, the cells that will die, any other cell near there will die. It's like the so just call it a name. They said ground something. All right, it means anything there will be wiped out. So when you're going for your therapy today, double red dose is then an antioxidants. And if you understand, I'm saying this chemotherapy is to oxidize the cells to die. So if you are giving uh if our target is to oxidize the cells and you are taking anti-oxidation, you are going to inhibit the desired function, which we don't want that to happen. Now, the one who said it's a failed therapy and they don't want to take the uh, cancer medicines anymore. Please, the double red rose is not a definitive cancer medicine. We cannot replace it with the expertise we've researched all these years to say, okay, once you're taking double red dose, don't go for cancer therapy. It will be wrong. We can't say that to you. In fact, it doesn't work that way. Please, it's good you work with your oncologist very well. There's always a way. It's not failed. There are several, like bodies work differently. There are several agents and we give them differently. If your oncologist is giving you one, it's not working, it's going to change to another one. You can take the double red rose alongside. It's going to help you. Especially, it's going to help relieve most of the uh, effects you see. Number one, fatigue. It also will mediate the pain and all of that. But please, and even aiding in the cancer cells death itself, yes. But please, it's good you go to your oncologist as you take the double red dose alongside. Please don't say it's failed and you will not go again. No, it's not failed. There are alternatives that are available that they will suggest to you, and it will be better. We want you to live. We want you to be alive and strong for us to spend the affluence global money together. So please do that on our behalf. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dan. Someone is asking, does this supplement have any side effects? And how does it enhance testosterone levels?
And how does it enhance what?
Testosterone.
Testosterone. Yeah, I think the fellow who asked about the fertility issue, which I mentioned that it's the double red dose is also very good for hormonal regulation. In fact, as you asked for testosterone, when we mentioned about NAC, I did not mention all the other things NAC can do. So if you want your testosterone levels to go up, NAC is also useful for that as well. So, and NAC is in this product. So, you're going to have, in fact, actually, people that are also having PCOS, all right? In fact, in some way, NAC is even able to help resolve that. So, we help with all those ones. So, yes, it's going to help, please, with that one. All right, now the side effect question. Does this one have side effects? We've not received an adverse reaction since we started with double red rose. It does not mean we can boldly say or knock our chest and say there is no side effect. In fact, we drink water every day. Per my education, there's something we call water intoxication, which means water can kill you. All right, but it doesn't kill everybody. All right, so there are some rare occurrences that there's if something has 1 in 1 million chance of occurring, we still say there's a possibility. We've not had any adverse reactions since we started. None has been reported to us, but we hope none will be reported. So for now, we will say we have not had any side effects. Those who take it, I personally have received little concerns about loose stools. That's the most frequent one I've received. Loose stools. They say when I take it, it's like I get some loose stools for the first day. Yes, it's part of it. The double red rose acts as a colon cleanser. All right. So it will let you have some loose tools. Not everybody will have the loose tool, but some people can experience some loose tools for the first or second day, but it's not continuous. All right. I hope that helps also. All right. I think
Thank you.
Justice. Welcome
Uh,
back.
yeah, some of the questions, I don't know if we should tackle them, but they are a bit trivial. Can double red rose cure cancer? What are the age restrictions? 5 and less, correct? Or what? Can double red rose revamp totally failing kidneys? Yeah, I think these, I don't know if you would want to tackle them, Dr. Dan, but the questions are a lot, a lot.
All right. So for the totally failing kidneys, hardly. It's difficult. It's difficult. Your kidneys, uh, they are a very delicate organ, and we will. There's something we call palliation and care. All right. We might not recover the kidneys, but we will help the fellow to lessen certain other burdens that come along with the kidney challenge. All right. So you can give this person, but if the fellow is undergoing dialysis, they are restricted from some amount of fluid volume. So you can give it. Contact your upline. I think we can discuss this extensively. Contact your upline. We can discuss this extensively after the meeting. Yeah. Then the one who is asking whether it can cure cancer, double red rose doesn't cure anything. Please, it doesn't cure anything. It helps your body to perform its physiologic functions to the optimum. All right. So it's not an anti-cancer agent, or it's not an antibiotic. It's not no. Just it's help your body. It enhance your body to carry out the function that will help. And your body actually have a way of resolving many things. All right. Yes. So we are helping your body to be able to perform those roles. And for the issue of cancer, a specific one like cancer is a bit difficult. It can help in many ways, but it's not a cure. It's not a curative agent for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dan. There's this one question. Someone is asking if it's an antioxidant, doesn't it clear out medications for these conditions, NCDs and HIV? This is a very interesting question. Okay, Dr. Dan, let me just leave
All
it for
right.
you to talk about. I thought of
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
something,
So
but
yeah,
yeah.
so for HIV, This is going to be very, very helpful for HIV patients. Remember, apart from the antioxidant properties we've talked about, actually our double red rose also, it's so far one of the best immune support products we have seen in my life. Is true in my entire practice period. So this is going to help boost their immunity so well, and is going to help them live a better life. Actually, HIV medications are not oxidants. They are not oxidants. They are antivirals. All right, viruses are pathogens. They are living, so it does not have anything to do with antioxidants restriction. Please, so it's rather beneficial to them on that one. All right, and it's talked about NCDs. NCDs are, in fact, I've not seen the, apart from cancer that we use oxidized agents. There are no NCDs that we are using oxidized agents for. All right, so this is going to be helpful for them. Rather, it's not going to give them problems. Yeah, when I say NCDs, is non-communicable diseases. That's what it's meaning. NCDs are, and there are a lot. We almost all the lifestyle, we call them also lifestyle related conditions or lifestyle life modification conditions, which means if you even modify your own life practices, if the damage is not up to certain extent, you can recover from them without even necessarily taking any agent at all. For example, hypertension, yes, you can, if it's just starting based on your life. For example, if you restrict certain life behaviors, you can recover from it immediately. All right. Yeah. So double red rose rather acts as a support for all NCDs. That's why we are contributing significantly to reduce the NCD burdens. All right. So it will not be dangerous for these people, rather be helpful to them. And even with the HIV person on all other viral conditions, this is going to be it's going to be a great blessing to them also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dan. Someone is asking, Dr. Dan, what are the potential risks associated with double red rose after surgery? Quite interesting. I think it's rather the opposite. Anyway, tell us, what are the
Yeah,
potential
yeah.
risks, yeah,
The,
after surgery? Are
as
there
for
even any risks at all,
There is no
if I
risk
may
at
ask?
all. Maybe change the risk to benefits. I'll talk about the benefits. It's important for you. There are no risk at all. There are many benefits that you use the double reduce post surgery. Number one, the double reduce is also then an anti-inflammatories. All right, and so it's
Audrey,
going to be, yeah, it's very very dank and anti-inflammatories. It's going to help with that, with healing, very very much with healing of any not just post surgery, all other wounds. This is very useful for them, please. Yeah, so there are potential benefits. There's no risk post surgery, please. So you can use it. Now, some people are asking this specifics because that's their situation. Not for this fellow. I'm just saying they have somebody or they know somebody who has just finished this process and they want to help. Yes, this will be very helpful for them. Kindly give it to them. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Dan. One question I didn't want to read, but it just flashed me. Is this product effective? Well, when someone says is this product, obviously they are talking about the double red rose. Is it effective for the dialysis patients? Is it good for them since their body can sometimes produce excessive water? That's the question.
All right. So I think I touched on it earlier that those who are undergoing dialysis, they are restricted from in fact they are we measure their fluid content, their fluid consumption, all right. But the double is just 10 mils. It's not contrary to it. They can take it and it will be helpful, beneficial to them. In fact, Madam Evarose, are you on the call? We had a case in Kenya when I was in Nairobi, and we had a very extensive discussion with the person. He's been on dialysis for 4 years, and I think when I was in Ghana, I got very good report as he started. he started there with actually very, very good report came out from it. All right. So yes, they can take it. It's just 10 meals. It's not contrary to the fluid restrictions that they are going through. So you can let them take it, please.
All right, thank you, Dr. Dan. Someone is asking, plantar fasciitis. Okay, can double red rose help a person with plantar fasciitis? For those of you who don't know, plantar fasciitis. Anytime you hear the word itis, okay, let me just explain this. Anytime you hear the word itis, like appendicitis, sinusitis, plantar fasciitis. Anytime you hear those words that ends with itis, think about something that is inflammatory. All right. So certainly you need an antioxidant to combat it. And just like Dr. Dan has said, our double red rose to him as a medical practitioner practicing for well over a decade, he says our double red rose is the most powerful antioxidant he himself has ever come across. And I think this is a statement that WHO needs to put in their profile. Doc, someone is asking, plantar fasciitis, can it help? Plantar fasciitis is an inflammation of the fibrous tissue, which is along the bottom of the foot that connects your heel bone to your toes. All right. And it can cause very serious heel pain. It is one of the most common causes of heel pain, pain in your heels. So, Doc, someone is asking, can double red rose help?
I think you already answered that one so perfectly. And even apart from plantar fasciitis, yeah, also uh, these neuropathies, peripheral neuropathies especially, it's also useful for all these peripheral neuropathies. I think Dr. Isaac, are you on the call? He has one of the best testimonies he got. Someone who couldn't wear even shoes for well over 4 years started wearing shoes and sending him all kinds of congratulatories and well-wishing messages after using the double radios for peripheral neuropathies as well. All inflammatory conditions, our double red dose is dank and anti-inflammatories. So it's able to resolve it's able to help in the way to resolve those ones. And antioxidants also play a significant role in that aspect. All right.
Wow, thank you. Dr. Dan, someone is asking, can double red rose help people who are born with disability, such as Down syndrome? For me, I've written a whole article on such cases, but I think one of these days when we are doing a medical show like this one, I will take my time and explain children or people who are born with certain disabilities and how the products can help. I think one day I'll just take my time and explain what they go through, what you can do for them, and how the products can help. But let's just tackle this one, especially with Down syndrome. I think it's something that most people don't understand because it has to deal with the chromosomes that were not perfectly moved and all that. So,
Exactly. Syndromes
yeah.
are anytime you hear syndrome, it means several factors involved. All right. So it's not a
Mm,
single thing. Say several factors involve
yeah.
something. Yeah. There are several syndromes like Down syndrome, like you mentioned, Klinefelter syndrome, and all. Every syndrome means there are several factors involved. Uh, Please, I cannot give a definitive answer as to whether this thing was solved. No. What I can say is you can give the product and it will support the fellow in other aspects, not necessarily the correction of these shortages is not possible. Anything genetic is almost incorrectable, or the code has gone, so they are not easily correct. In fact, once the code has changed, it's difficult to correct. There's a project that is being done. It's still Google Genetics. That's Google is investing a whole lot of science on this. We hope they get a breakthrough out of it so that we can change gene codes. Elon Musk's Neuralink has been able to bring a small breakthrough, but still on a very primary or just at the starting. Neuralink now is able to help people who've had nerve impulse challenges to be able to do that communication and all of that by implanting that neurochip. All right, but it will still take some time to get to these ones. Science is big and sweet, so we are hoping some changes will come. But for us in the Affluence Global, our target is helping your body to come back to normal. But genetic codes, we it's not the, it's a whole game altogether. You can give this person the double red rose. It will support in other aspects. All right, but it won't be able to change the code. Thank you.
Dan, you made me laugh. He says science is big and sweet. I like that part. So, someone is asking, can 3 years old child who is not talking take the product? He is always making noise but can't talk. Wow. Dr. Dan, I will need your assistance here with this
Yeah,
question.
I recommend this one. I think last week we saw a testimony of from Cameroon. No, from
Mm.
Dubai. It was Bright who sent that testimony. It was from Dubai. A child with
Oh,
similar
yes, I
challenge.
think yeah, I saw
Yes,
that
yes, yes.
testimony.
I saw the testimony myself. I was so happy. You can give so that we said at least not below 5 years, but we said people with children with special needs or a special condition. This is one of them. You can give and then we observe. All right.
Mm.
So you
Yeah,
give and
thank
then we
you.
observe. But when you get the results, bring it and we share together and we celebrate with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Dan. I want to add this. Male kids or male child, okay. Um, they are talking sometimes naturally they are delayed, other than the females. With the girls, they speak much faster or much quicker than the boys. So that's one thing you must also observe. Sometimes it might take a child 2.5 to 3 years before they start talking. It doesn't really mean they are sick or anything. But yes, just like Dr. Dan said, because the products can help with brain development, it can also help because that's the part of brain that deals with speech might also be underdeveloped. Dr. Dan, someone is asking this very interesting question. I wanted to move on. If someone was diagnosed with cancer and the person has no hope, and the doctors are saying the person has remained with little lung. I don't know what little lung means, but and the cancer is on the last. Is double red rose going to help him? I hope I managed to get the question clear.
Yeah, I think this what I will say, like I repeated this. Double red rose will help the fellow in palliation. It might not reverse the damage if it's at the last stage, like the flow I've mentioned. What it can do is it can mediate the pain, it will reduce the fatigue, and who knows, it might actually reverse also. All right. So you can give the person, but it's not an assurance that the flu is going to this is going to reverse the cancer. All right. So you can give the fellow if even it will not reverse the challenge, the mitigating those very difficult situations for the person, especially fatigue, the pain is significant. In fact, there's a whole section of uh, medicine, we call it palliative care, all right? And it's to help people whose conditions are in certain way advanced than reversal to be able to have a comfortable life till the day come for them to go, all right? So you can give double red rose to aid their life, and in so doing, if it reverses the challenge to we praise God. Because some of the testimonies we get from double red rose, frankly speaking, I will say is beyond science. Like uh Dr. Ben Carson once said, he says he has done operations that he knows that science didn't, it wasn't science, it was God working. So you can give the product, and we pray that God works through it. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Here, this one says, can double red rose help with lipidemia? Can one become HIV negative? Just increasing the CD4 count. How does it help with colon cancer? On eye issue, should one use it also as eye drops? Okay, I think this is about 3 or 4 questions in one. So the first one, he says, can it help with lipidemia? Number 2, can it help someone to become HIV negative just by increasing the CD4 count? And then the third one, how does it help with colon cancer? And the fourth one is about eye issues. Can we use it as eye drops?
So I'll start with the eye issue. Please, no, don't use it as eye drop. Please. You drink it, it will help with your eye, but don't use it as eye drop. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Please, our eyes are delicate. Don't put anything on it, no matter how desperate you are, unless it is recommended. Because blindness is in many folds, and if a damage that might not be reversible might be dangerous. So don't put not just our product alone. Any other thing that is not recommended by your ophthalmologist or your eye nurse or your eye care person, and then they say you can put in your eye. In fact, please be careful. It's eye is so delicate, so delicate. Now, HIV, can it turn HIV negative? It's not an antiviral. It will increase the CD4 count. So I think I've seen a couple. I think I've seen a testimony like that from Cameroon, but I am not going to be able to say whether it will turn negative. It will improve the fellow's life well. Yes. Then colon cancer, like all other cancers we have talked about, this is not an anti-cancer agent. It's going to help you uh, rather live a better, less let me say even the reduces the discomfort in going through the process, but you still need to see your oncologist for cancer care. All right. And then I think the fourth one is what? The eye, the colon cancer, the HIV, and which one? Lipidemia. High lipids. High
Yes,
lipids. Yes.
lipidemia.
So
Yeah,
yes.
that's
So
high cholesterol.
yes, for lipids, for high lipids, I encourage you to use. In fact, lipidemia is one of the primary uh, risk factors for cardiovascular challenges, because high lipids thickens your vessel wall, and it makes the resistance high, and so it increase your risk of developing a stroke, and even it makes it difficult to control your blood pressure. This will help a bit much with lipidemia. This case, you can take it. But if you are giving lipid lowering medications, whether the statins or whether Crestor, lipid, any of them you are giving, take it alongside. You'll get a better result than taking only double red rose. All right. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Dan, I want to say something. I'm scared to say it because this meeting is being recorded, so I'm scared to say it. But this was someone's testimony, actually. I think with HIV, we've had one from Cameroon, we had 5 from Botswana. 5 from
Wow.
Botswana.
Then
Yeah.
say it. You can't be scared. Say it. 5 is a significant number.
Dr. Dan, I'm scared because tomorrow, first thing in the morning, people will be putting out the double red rose cures HIV, and then we are going to be in trouble. Because you know the thing is, when someone is sick and they are well, they can't hide it. You
Yeah.
understand? You just can't hide it. That is the main case that is making us not able to. I really can't even. I don't even want to share that testimony. But 5, I'm telling you. On the other hand, I have personal patients. My own personal patient. Was it today or yesterday in the morning? She was telling me, Doctor, me, I'm putting this thing in my eye, and my eye is gone. They are putting the
Wow.
double red rose as eye drops. And the person is on this call. The person is on this Zoom meeting right now, but I don't want to mention their names. You know?
Please don't put it in
So,
your eye, I beg.
Dr. Dan, the things people are doing, you won't believe it. And they are giving testimonies. I think they are just doing this by faith. And then also when it comes to with the high lipids, there was I don't know if we brought Regina to Ghana 1.5 years ago. She's part of the leaders here in Botswana from Southern Africa. Regina has very high blood cholesterol. She was on the statin. I think she was on atorvastatin for over 11 years. When the very first double red rose came, the first one that you talked about, she's completely free from statins. Imagine now
Wow.
using the one with the NAC. So that's we have so many testimonies. Sometimes when over here we are meat eating people, my brother, we eat meat a lot. So if you eat a lot of meat, a lot of fatty foods without any exercise, then certainly you are building a lot of fats in your system, especially saturated fats, which the body doesn't need that much. So that's just something small I would want to say. Let's see what questions again. Okay, I think some of the questions I really don't want to be reading them. Okay. Dr. Dan, someone is saying, can epilepsy be controlled by double red rose? You see, these are some of the questions we don't even want to tackle.
That's all right. So epilepsy, um in fact, I've not given to an epileptic yet, but you can give to the person. One, epilepsy happens to be a brain challenge. All right. So there's a misfiring of impulses, and that is why the follow now gets those twitching and all of that. You can give it because this one does well with cognitive health. It's cognitive health. So you might be the one who brings out the testimony first, but you can give it. All right, you can give it to the person. In fact, if even it does not control the epilepsy, it's aiding the fellow in several other organs or systems. So it's good. You can give to the person, please.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Dan. Dr. Dan, there's a question here for you. It says, I wish to know if double red rose can help in a situation of gouts and bone conditions like osteomyelitis. Okay. All right, Uncle Dr. Dan, before you answer, let me share another testimony, a personal testimony. Three
Great.
years ago, yeah, 3 years ago, personally, I was diagnosed with I had a back pain due to posture because normally when I'm at home, I will be on my bed. I will be lying on my bed with my laptop next to me. We read a lot, and I was always on my laptop up to about 2:33 a.m. before I will say my prayers and I'll fall asleep. One time I woke up in the morning and I couldn't walk. I had so much pain at my back, extreme pain. So immediately I to another country because I have some personal doctors that, anytime I have personal cases, I go to them. My brother, I was diagnosed with something very funny. Very, very, very funny. And it was due to my posture. So I went through physiotherapist for I was supposed to go for 2 months, but when the double red rose came, I used the double red rose. Lo and behold, within 4 days, I was completely free. I was completely free. And the way the pain went away, you won't even remember you once had a pain. Okay. And it was because when I look at my bone, when I did the x-ray, I looked at the x-ray and I realized that most of my muscle, the flesh were going off. So it was just the bone touching each other. And it was very, very painful, extremely painful. Within just 3, 4 days of using the product, I was completely free. So this is also another personal testimony that I had. So for most people who are struggling with back pain and back aches, please be very mindful of your posture, the way you sit, the kind of seat you sit on at work. It's very, very important. All right. So I think that's what I would say. I was diagnosed of spondylosis, thoracolumbar spondylosis. For those of you who know, thoracolumbar, that means my thorax and my lumbar together wasn't functioning properly. So I was diagnosed of thoracolumbar spondylosis. Lo and behold, within 3-4 days, I'm completely free. And I had to take lots of proteins. I didn't even take any protein-rich foods, just the double red rose. Yeah. So that's also another personal testimony that I have. So Dr. Dan, tell us.
And that answers the question already. The Phyllis asking. You know, we talked about car. I was using car as an analogy. You know, in your car, you have several fluids in your car, but they are not all put in the one compartment. Apart from the fuel, your main fuel, like whether you're using petrol or diesel, you have brake fluid is in a different compartment, right? You have oil, the engine oil is in a different compartment. And then you have your wiper water, it's in a different compartment. Then you have your radiator coolant, it's in a different compartment. That's how your body actually is also. We have several fluids in different compartments that work to make our body work. All right. Apart from the main fluid that is blood, we have the lymph, we have synovial fluid, we have cerebrospinal fluid, we have several fluids. So, like Dr. Justice was telling, he just gave his testimony. For those with arthritis, for example, you find out that the joint socket, the fluid there, it's in some cases it's not much. In some cases, it's too much. The joint, the bone edges are eroded, and they fully begin the bones touch each other, and then you begin to feel the pain that's severe. What double red zone does with these ones is, like we mentioned, all the other components we mentioned, is to help your body regulate these things for you to have a free functional system. Yeah. So your testimonies answers this question for us very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dan. There's a question here. I think I'll take this question. I didn't want to take it, but I think this is directly to me. Can double red rose help with obesity? Someone who is fat and wants to become slim. Okay, so let me just take this question personally myself. The human body, okay, at every age in your life, whether you are 30, 31, 32, 45 years, according to your bone density, there's a certain weight you must have. If you are 31 years and due to your bone density, your body weight is heavier than the bone set density, then we say you are obese. If your body weight is lower than your bone density at that age, we will say you are underweight. Sometimes there are even some pregnant women, we tell them to go and gain weight so that their pelvic girdle can increase a little bit so they can give birth without any troubles. Now, when it comes to obesity is highly nutritional. I always say this. In that, if you want to lose weight, number one, when you finish eating, please do not lie down in the sofa. A lot of people do that. When you finish eating, don't lie down in the sofa. All right? It's very dangerous. You will never lose weight. And if you want to lose weight, that is the number one thing. Number two, when you finish eating, make sure you sleep at least 2 hours after you've eaten, because the food has to take time to digest, depending on the kind of food you've taken. Now, when you ask this question, can double red rose help? It's a yes and a no question. Yes, it can help because, number one, it will help you to detoxify all the fats in your system. Number two, it will help your body come back to its original state. That is what we call the homeostasis. It will help your body to come back to its original state. In that, if you take it for quite some time, and like Dr. Dan said, I like the analogy he gave, and he also said the same thing I always tell my patients, stay on the product for 90 days. Trust me, no matter what the body is going through, within 90 days, you will find the solution to it if you are going to be very consistent. So that's the answer I will give you. So yes, it can help you to lose weight according to your bone density and your age. All right. Thank you. The next one, can double red rose cure asthma? This is one question I don't even want to tackle because we don't want to hear the word cure. Dr. Dan, this person is asking, can DRR cure asthma? Number two, how many sachets can we recommend per year? Wow, per year sachets. Okay, Dr. Dan, can you help us with this question?
All right. I think so. For the asthma, asthma it's an atopy. It's a reaction to something, some agent your body is trying to repel. In fact, NAC happens to be one of the things we are happy with. It helps with uh, bronchial health. All right, it's thins mucus, so it's helpful with these ones. So the flu can take it, but the primary reason you experience an asthmatic episode is exposure to certain things your body is trying to reject. All right, and the issue with asthma is the once you inhale or you eat that agent, now your body cells are those that try to kill you. Your body in its own wisdom is trying to avoid that thing from entering you. So it causes what we call mast cells reaction. Your mast cells are specialized cell that contains mucus, and they are in spaces we call uh like your bronchial space. The mast cells now gang up. They just begin replicating quickly to block that thing out of you, and so doing, they block your bronchioles. They block your, and then you now begin to wheeze and all of that. Please, this will help, but it does not cure asthma. You will not actually have the episode if you are not exposed to the atopy. All right. But certain infections will also predispose you, weather conditions will predispose you. So, first take care of your self well, and then this will help. Actually, NAC plays a significant role in respiratory health, and so it will help in a way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dan. It's 8 minutes past 10 in Southern Africa. I know in Ghana it should be 8 minutes past 8 in Ghana. In Nigeria, it should be 8 minutes past 9. In Cameroon, it should be 8 minutes past 9. Please, we've spent 2 hours flat. 2 hours. I know there are still lots and lots of questions to be asked. Ladies and gentlemen on the call tonight, please, can we reschedule with all due respect? Can we reschedule this meeting? Maybe we can have a part two of it. All right. Please, with all due respect, can we reschedule? Because some of us are fathers, some of us are daddies, some of us are we have other meetings to attend. There's another Zoom meeting that they've been clicking and clicking for me to join. I can't even join. So, Dr. Dan, I think I will let me just read the last questions. I'm just going to read a lot of them, then you can summarize for us, please, with all due
All
respect.
right,
Okay.
all right, all right. And I
Yeah,
think that's fine.
yeah. So this one says, can double red rose help someone struggling with ringworms? She has been using clotrimazole for some time. If she stops, they appear. Can they apply double red rose on the ringworms to disappear for good? Please check your liver. Most importantly, it happens. And then check where you play. Because sometimes maybe your partner is the one who is always bringing it back to you. You might not know. But Dr. Dan will also clarify. This one, I think this one is probably from Malawi. He says, can double red rose work on adult patients with contracture on the elbow, secondary to stroke, and then severe salivation and loss of speech, but able to laugh with sound? Then another one says, my 24-old son has an undescended testicle. I think that should be hydrocele, if I'm not mistaken. Can double red rose help? Someone is saying, my son is 10 years old. He has sinus. That is sinusitis, is inflammatory. He always has a runny nose since he was 3 years old. Then this one says, can someone suffering from psoriasis, psoriasis is a skin condition, almost like a ringworm, Someone suffering from psoriasis for years, can the person take double red rose and become free from it? Someone is, oh, please, this one, talk to your upline. Which does, I'm not so clear about this question, but let's move on. A person with itchy body and always scratching, if he doesn't take cetirizine, oh, cetirizine, not cetirizine, yeah, the spelling, cetirizine, can it help? So that means they always have to take cetirizine. And can DRR ease allergies of itching on the throat? Okay, please be very careful. Cetirizine is a very strong drug. Okay, you don't have to take it all the time. It's a very, very strong drug. Some people have eye drop, double red rose, and cataracts have disappeared. Who knows? Well done. This one is saying some people have cataracts. They use double red rose as eye drops and it has disappeared. My goodness. Okay. So this one says they can attest to it themselves. Old bone injury on their ankle from car accident, and usually with driving, I didn't see this well. Now and then the pain resurfaces. In the first month of double red rose, they had 2 to 3 days in their third week of extreme sharp pains on the ankle. Couldn't even drive. Now they assume it was the healing crisis. After that, it completely disappeared, being pain-free in my ankle. Wow. Um, the mute can talk after taking DRR. Oh my goodness. Dr. Dan, this one is asking you. I think someone who is deaf or dumb, and he's saying the mute, can they talk after taking double red rose? Yo. Now, this one, okay. Dr. Dan, I think we should someone says tonight I feel like I have graduated from medical school. My goodness, we spent 7 years, please. We spent 7 years, not 2 hours. Some of us spent even more than that. Dr. Dan, so can you please summarize for us? Then we'll reschedule, we'll find another day so that we can have another 2 hour of your brains, please. This has been really amazing. Dr. Dan, over to you. Thank you.
All right. So let me start with the skin issues. The fellow with psoriasis, um, you can use, but psoriasis is quite difficult to treat. Among skin conditions, one of the difficult. Okay, so you can use it, but be in touch with your dermatologist. Now, the fellow who is using cetirizine because of the itching, sometimes you just need a small test. In fact, last 2 weeks, as Justice has said, me, I've moved to Affluence Global full time, but I got a family, and they contacted me, and they said, we've been looking to see you. I said, what's the matter? I said, can we come over? So I asked them to come over to my house, and their challenge was they've been repeatedly given some topical applications. In certain cases, they were even given some injection that is very painful, which I know that one it is, benzathine, because they were having this repeated itching. And I just asked them a simple question: did you go to see any dermatologist? Any dermatologist? They said no. I said, okay, there's a lab near us, so I asked them to check for just a small test. All right, and they just did that small test, and the lab separated the level of scabies, and it's just a simple thing. I just asked them to go and get Primatrim to apply, and it has gone. So sometimes don't assume and just be applying everything, or no, kindly go to a dermatologist. They will let you do some small checks. It can just solve the problem for you one time. All right, because certain agents are there, when you take them repeatedly, they rather cause certain other undesired effects we don't want. Thank you for that one. Then the one who says the deaf and dumb, can they if they take double red dose, can they mute, can they talk? Please, I have not given to someone like that, and I have not had the testimony like that. So please, you can give to them. It might not solve that challenge, but it will help their body. All right. It will help several other systems, the speech and hearing are not the only organs. There are other organs and there are other health conditions they might suffer from that this can solve. This is proven it can solve those ones. So you can give it to them and then we see. All right, thank you. And I think the first one you asked was the follow who said what I think that's all the questions. I answered the asthma question also. All right. I think, like Dr. Jesse suggested, we'll reschedule. We'll have more of these. We want people to understand our product. In closing, what I will say is the double red dose is not for the sick people. All the questions we have answered now are on people who have a challenge. In fact, is pain is the first reason at all areas that cause people to go to hospital. So we know people are asking because something is wrong. Usually, if you are not ill, you don't feel and it's in fact and it's comforting. So please, let's all of us that are well, let's take it. Let's take the double red rose to avoid it. All right, Justice, I think that's it. You can close us now. Thank you.
Wow, Dr. Dan. Ladies and gentlemen, me, I wish we can contribute and buy him just one box of double red rose, 10 CV, just 10 CV. Because the way Dr. Dan has tackled these questions tonight, it's just amazing. If we were to be having a large event to say we are inviting him, I don't know how much he will charge us. Probably about $5,000 to $8,000. I mean, that's how much we charge. If someone invites me for an event, just 2 hours on stage, that's the least we charge, $5,000. A couple of years ago, the late Dr. Miles Monroe, may his soul rest in peace. He was charging 2 hours on stage. He would charge you $50,000. He bought his own private jet, $50,000 every 2 hours. 7 years plus medical school, Dr. Dan has done justice to double red rose tonight in just 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how much we can thank him. Dr. Dan, may God richly bless you. May God increase you. May the wisdom and the knowledge you have keep increasing by the day. If you hear the cock crows tomorrow morning, just know that Affluence Global says thank you.
Amen.
Tonight, we really appreciate the time you've spent with us. We really appreciate, Dr. Dan. May God richly bless you and your family. And please, as you are making money, remember us. We are also your team members. For those who are not aware, Dr. Dan has hit. He's in fact, I don't want to mention any amounts, but he's one of our highest earners. If we are talking about, I told you, if we are talking about the top 5 in Affluence Global, he's one of the top 5 highest earners. So tonight, Dr. Dan, may God richly bless you. We really appreciate you. Guys, I don't know what you want to say to Dr. Dan, but please, whatever you want to tell him, just type it in the chat button. I want to be reading it for him to listen. I really want to be reading it for him to listen. Dr. Dan, because of you, somebody says we should call them Dr. What? So after tonight, we are going to get a lot of doctors because they have listened to you and they've learned from you. Professor Sylvester Moyo from Harare in Zimbabwe, he says, thank you very much for this excellent meeting and such clarity. Jonas says, thanks for your time and knowledge imparted. Phineas says, thank you, Dr. Dan and Justice. Sophia says, thank you, Dr. Dan, for your time. Ohomodite says, may God bless you more and open new doors for you. Sophia says, God bless you. Dr. Kefa Omari, medical missionary, says, indeed, I need to talk. Oh, doctor, please, our time. See Good says, thank you, Dr. Dan. Sabina says, God richly bless you. Bongi says, indeed, we appreciate you, Dr. Dan, for pouring into us. So much knowledge and clarity. May God expand your territory. G. Letan says, thank you, Dr. Dan. I appreciate. Awesome. Missionary says, thanks, Dr. Dan. Samuel Abakuri says, God bless you, Dr. Dan. Triza Helen says, thank you, Dr. Dan. Let me mute